Good evening, everybody. We're here with another Isenhour Speaks Confederate Minute on a Thursday evening, and I have some, not important, but some fun things to chat about this week has happened. Had a lot of nice things happen. I was in North Carolina earlier this week talking to a Tea Party group, actually the Rowan County Tea Party. And if you don't know, and there's no reason that you should, but Rowan County, North Carolina became a sanctuary county also this last week, which is a very exciting thing. We had a lot of county officials who actually voted for the sanctuary county movement in North Carolina. And we have a lot of the counties down there being Second Amendment counties. And you ask the question, well, wait a minute, is their governor assaulting them also? Well, he is. He's a Bloomberg-backed, minion of Satan. But the good news is they do have the legislature still control the Republicans who are fighting hard to keep these guns in the hands of citizens as opposed in the hands of what the Democrats want to give it back to the criminals. Anyway, so that's the good news that the sanctuary county movement is big in North Carolina and is spreading like wildfire, thank goodness. But we'll go back to a little bit what we heard about earlier this week that a lot of people thought was a joke. Actually, they thought it was kind of a joke where Jerry Falwell Jr. and the governor of West Virginia came on, did a press conference, and the governor said, hey, come on down to West Virginia. We got plenty of room for you all Second Amendment counties. Just come on over it. And so everybody was like, well, really, is this for real? Yeah, it is for real. And yeah, it does actually make kind of an interesting statement about what we could do. Yes, folks, if we start with Bath County and Highland County and just make them West Virginia, just start keeping on this way, we can literally put the whole state of Virginia, with the exception of the occupied Northern Virginia, is a constituent state of now West Virginia. We can just take it all and join West Virginia. That's the kind of play on historical words, seeing as West Virginia was illegally put into the Union in 1863. I won't digress about that. However, that is something interesting. And I think it's something we need to study. There have been some people saying, well, if we can move the counties to West Virginia, which we can do, legally you can do that. Well, why can't we just break up Virginia into like a southern part of Virginia? I don't know, Southwest Virginia, whatever you want to call it, Southeast Virginia. Well, that you can do, but that would require Congress to get in on that, because that would be asking us to be a new state. So that gets the federal government involved. Going and joining sanctuary counties to West Virginia, that wouldn't take anything except just doing it. You would have to have the feds involved in that. But before we come to that movement, which it is an option, I also want to mention, folks, y'all are Virginians. You're supposed to damn fight. Now, the fight of the General Assembly is not over yet. Yes, it looks like July 1st, we're going to have a whole bunch of felons in the state. Yes, they're going to pass a lot of this stuff. However, immediately this stuff is going to be challenged in court because it's all unconstitutional. It's just blatantly unconstitutional. It's crazy and blatantly unconstitutional. So yes, we can give up and say, oh Lord, we got to move out of Virginia because all them people up there in northern occupied Virginia, they're taking all of our votes. No, they're not. We're not voting, folks. Have you not got the message yet? We have 50% of the voters in Virginia that aren't voting. Now, if they all were going to vote blue, yeah, my suggestion is let's go to West Virginia. However, most of them are red, and you're not voting. So whose fault is it that you're not voting? What do you have to say? We have to vote. I don't do sign language. I'm not trying to make fun of sign language because I have some very serious friends who are hearing impaired, and I love them to death. But they would simply tell you, vote. I don't know what the sign language for vote is, but vote. If you're not voting and you are a committed gun owner and you are a committed citizen of the state of Virginia and you do not vote, shame on you, pox on your house. How can you stand by and allow this state to be destroyed by a bunch of red idiots? A bunch of idiots from Northern Virginia. I was just saying we've got to stop doing this kind of, well, we're just not going to vote anymore. You've just got to stop it, because not voting means that the evil people win. If we all vote, we'll defeat them. We also have to take this legislature back. So my first thing that I think we should continue to do is fight. We should have, like I said last week, more and more gun rallies around the counties to enforce the fact we have to have a lot. I was in North Carolina, as I said earlier this week, in a Second Amendment county. And one of the folks in that group said, well, I'm holding my hand registration to be registered to vote. And that particular group, that Tea Party group down there, have engaged and are out there getting people registered to vote. They have the same problem in North Carolina as they have all over the country. And that is that we do not have our people registered to vote. We outnumber them. All this stuff, well, they got illegal aliens. Oh, okay, they got them too. But if we go vote, we'll outvote them. We can take this thing back. Now, unfortunately, we cannot vote here in Virginia for these people in the legislature until 2021. I've mentioned that before. But you have to realize we can vote these people out. Either that or we can just wait for some more of them and get some DUIs. I mean, that's happening. Mr. Hurt there over in the western part of the state has that DUI that they let him just kind of walk down the road. Really? Do you think they let you walk down the road? I don't think so. Somehow, this man who was drunk driving is now allowed to be in the legislature voting to take your guns away and everything else. Really, that doesn't sound so good to me. We need to fight, Virginians. You understand? Fight. We have to stop all this pickering and stuff and just fight. You can win, citizens. We can take this back. The governor and his minions of satanic, I don't even know, just satanic people, they can be defeated at the ballot box, but we have to get out and vote. If you don't vote, then it's your fault. So this Isenhour Speaks is really talking about we have to get registered to vote. We still need to have more gun rallies. We still need to have our sheriffs step up. That's the other question I have right here. In New Mexico, some of the sheriffs have stepped up and told the legislature, we're not going to enforce these laws. Don't pass them. And they backed down. They didn't pass them. Where are our sheriffs? We need to see our sheriffs, all of our sheriffs, to come together as one group and say, we, the sheriffs of these counties in Virginia, which there should be well over 100 sheriffs in these jurisdictions, we together are a body who refuse to go along with this gun confiscation happening at the General Assembly. Where are you sheriffs? I know a few of you. I love you guys. We all love you guys. But where are you? Now is not the time to sit down. You should be out publicly talking about this and coming together as sheriffs within counties. That's the coalition of counties that has to come together to watch each other's backs. So individually, they can pick you off, sheriffs. But if you are as a group, they can't pick you off. So where are our sheriffs? I'm calling for our sheriffs to come out and start getting engaged in this process. Going down to the General Assembly and publicly stating, we as the sheriffs of the counties that we have a Second Amendment, we are not going to enforce these unconstitutional Virginian laws. Remember, Virginia Constitution forbids the governor and his minions of satanic power in jurisdiction from passing these laws. We have to stand up to them, and more of the times we stand up to them, we will win. We can stop this stuff, but we have to have everybody stand up, and that includes our sheriffs. We love our law enforcement, but it's time for the sheriffs to come together in a public group and say, we are not going to abide by this. I applaud all the sheriffs who have come out and said we're against it. We have very brave men, but we have to come together as a group of men or women to come together as sheriffs and unite for Virginians. So that's my other call, is that we need to have the sheriffs come out and actually publicly come together as a group and say, they can form a coalition, they can form whatever they want. They come out and say, we, the sheriffs of the counties here in Virginia, are not going to put up with this. We're just not going to tolerate it. You're not going to make overnight, literally, millions of felons in the state of Virginia. You're just not going to do it. And we have to start enforcing the laws that are on the books of Virginia. If you find somebody who's an illegal alien, call the federal government, ship them out of here. If you have all these illegal aliens are getting arrested and stuff, and you're letting them go free, because somebody says some county attorney who is a Bloomberg or a Soros minion who says we're not going to arrest these people, we're not going to deport them from the state of Virginia. Well, guess what, Sheriff? You put them in custody, call the federal government yourself and have these people picked up. It's time for the citizens to push back against this lawlessness. We have to push back against it, because if we do not push back against it, the alternative is not good. So, to recap real quickly, We can fight for Virginia. Now, like I said, if y'all want to move to West Virginia, that's fine with me. But we have to fight, and we can fight. But you've got to register to vote. You have to be, in your counties, you have to make sure everybody in your church, everybody in your county who is of voting age, votes. It's that simple. It's not that hard, folks. It's not that hard. You have to then have to stand up as a group in your counties and come together to have these rallies that say we are going to stand with our sheriffs in the counties and our elected officials who are staying behind us, making sure that no laws in the counties are passed that are going to take away our guns or anything like that. We have to stand up and fight Virginians. That's kind of what we're known for, you know what I'm saying? Virginians are known to fight. Rally behind the Virginians. Now's the time to rally, folks. If you don't rally, it's your fault. So if you have any questions, you can always make comments, and I appreciate y'all. But remember, if you sit down on the couch and don't do anything, you're the person to blame for this. You have to act as a citizen. It's your duty to act as a citizen. And voting is part of that duty. Organize, folks, and get ready for this stuff. We can take this state back. There are not that many of these evil, do I have to say evil again? Satanic minions that the governor has running around with him. They can be defeated, and when they are defeated, we need to make laws in place to actually have no politician allowed to come into office that automatically says that they're going to be against the Constitution of the state of Virginia. I thought they all had to take an oath to the state constitution. So how can they come in and start just blatantly passing laws that are not in our Constitution? It's crazy. But we can stop them. Stand up, fight Virginians, rally behind the Virginians. Thank you for this Confederate moment. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.